It's a beautiful day for trekking today in Nepal, and today we're heading off from Chekempar to Nile, stopping at a monastery and some caves along the way. What is it, day 5? Day 6? Is it? Yeah. Ooh. Oh, yeah. No, the Jeep doesn't count. The Jeep 6. Oh, good. Only 20 more to go. Nah. We have some more yak. Black yak. I don't know if it's friendly yak or not. Turning easy. Oh no! Okay, so we're up in that 3,000 to 4,000 meter range, so you won't see any trees or above the tree line. So obviously it's a bit snowy, a bit cold, a bit icy up here. Sun's not doing any favours. Namaste. Yeah, so that was a really nice little walk with some little like pine fronds. So I think I was pretty gassed yesterday, but the elevation might have been one of the reasons as well. It took it out of me a bit, because I'm just noticing this morning, like where I'm walking now and as I'm talking, I'm a little bit out of breath. But we have been walking for 5 days straight. I've got another 10 or 11 to go or more. So yeah, I'm going to bail up Gokana a little bit later and talk to him about Diamox, which is altitude sickness tablet. I'm not taking any at this stage. I feel great. No headaches, no dizziness, and it's not going to take away the out of breath. And yeah, we'll just keep walking on through. About 8 hours today. Unfortunately, I didn't get to sit down with my guide and have that chat in regards to Diamox. It was kind of just going to be a general, like what their opinion is on the use of Diamox. He really forced me into keeping well hydrated the whole trip, and I think that might have been one of the reasons that I got away without using it. So in my final video, once I'm finished this sort of little series, I will sit down and talk about, how I managed to avoid the alcohol sickness. That's normally me, the altitude sickness. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to pop into this monastery in Lamagon, and this stop is actually a lot of hikers, trekkers stopped in at this town instead of Chekempar, which is just a little bit further down the trail. Not what you expect to find over 3,000 metres in the mountains. Okay, so drop a comment down below if you've got any sort of opinion on what I'm about to say, but I did find it fascinating that these stupas and monasteries and things like that had so much money inside the walls. And then when you stepped outside, people were living literally, in small houses made of, with cow dung for insulation and things like that. So I did try and get a little bit of information out of my guide. However, just the language barrier on that one got us caught out a little bit. But it is something that I probably will do a little bit more research on, because I might, be wrong and well out of line in saying that.
Yeah, all the monasteries are old, more than like 300, 400 years ago. So they are built just legit monastery, but when they get money, thereafter they make more newer or more build also. and some special time the senior monks is coming here, and then they do some praying and they learn to the students, and some students they are coming here for study, maybe 3 months or 6 months.
Our next stop was a small village called Bursey, and this is where we popped in and met with an older gentleman who gave us a key, and we were able to head up into Milarepa Cave. So all throughout the Himalayas there's these caves, and the monks will actually make a pilgrimage up into these caves to pray. What I found fascinating about Milarepa was it reminded me very much of the traditional Australian Aboriginal Dreamtime stories. So Milarepa was able to fly and levitate through the air, and he would go up into the cave, you know, build up strength and then fly across the Himalayas. Kind of gave me Dragon Ball Z vibes as well, but I think that might have been a Japanese show. Okay, Gurkana was explaining this to me a little bit last night. So there's some caves here, and obviously language barrier, but I believe like the Buddha would come into the cave to build strength, and then, you know, they would fly out across the Himalayas. Maybe I can build strength and fly across the Himalayas. Oh wow, nice little stove. This is built inside the cave. Wow. Oh my gosh, how's that? It's pretty special. So Milarepa was said to have performed many miracles in the cave and left a footprint in a nearby rock, which can be viewed in that little cage area that's in front of me there. They've packed all clay to insulate the inside of the cave.
So I talked about before the books is there, right?
Oh yeah.
And he's the Dalai Lama.
Yep.
He's the Dalai Lama. And Gautam Buddha is here. He's just praying for this time. And Thara and Guru Rinpoche.
I put today down as one of my favourite days of the trek. I think being a little bit flatter, we only had about a 300 to 400 metre elevation gain today, and it was quite open. Previous days we'd been in amongst the ranges and, you know, on those cliff edges, whereas today it kind of levelled out, so we could see like all the scenery around, great views, 360 degrees, snow-capped mountains. There's a little bit of snow on the ground here and there, and the edges of the river in certain places were frozen, which was pretty cool. It was just a really, really nice stroll through the Himalayas. go on the edge of the river along. Gonna make the decision whether I want to do Mugumpa this afternoon or do it tomorrow. It's quite a climb. Mugumpa will be about 2 hours up, 1 hour back. So we can fit that in easily today after lunch, which is probably the smarter way. And then tomorrow we start backtracking. Backtracking all the way back to get onto Monestries trek. Okay, that's the sign to Nile, which is behind me here. And way to Mugumpa. Mugumpa, 2 hours. Nile, 3,300 meters. I think Mugumpa's just under 4. Soon find out. Namaste. Are you good? Are you working hard? Hard work, yeah. Yeah. Very hot. You need to go swimming. No. It's too cold, yeah. So I was feeling pretty fit, fresh, ready to tackle Mugumpa that afternoon. However, our guides kind of made the decision that we'd do it the next day, which did make for a pretty big day the next day. It was quite windy there in the afternoon, so maybe that was why they made that decision. But yeah, like I said, I was feeling pretty fresh and up for it. Unfortunately, that night, my neighbour in our accommodation decided to snore all night, and I had a terrible night's sleep or no sleep. Then got up and he was sitting beside me at breakfast talking about how he didn't get any sleep that night. So it was a bit of a rough day the next day. I think the next day we do over 20 kilometres. So yeah, you can imagine after lack of sleep how that went down. Just doing the last little climb into Nile. It's actually a waterfall over there, not a... I thought it was a little avalanche, but it's a waterfall. It's pretty cool. We've got to go up, up, up. Wait for boss man here, brother. Good job.
Yeah.
Easy one, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Okay, this is my little room in Nile. Not too bad. I think this is pretty good. Might be a little bit hard to see with the sun. Whew. Okay. All right, we arrived in Nile. It was a pretty cruisy hike today. It was mostly flat. I think the hardest part is sometimes just walking on that. It's not a road, it was a track, but it's quite hard on that hard road base. But yeah, we made pretty good time. Let's have a look. So yeah, we did bit over 12 Ks in 4.5 hours with a 398 meter ascent. We're sitting at 3,321 now, so it kind of went up and down throughout the day, and we only had 20 minutes worth of breaks. So given that, it's 12:22 and I'm starving, so I've just taken the shoes off to give the feet a rest and go and have lunch, and we're going to have a bit of a chat. I think the smart thing to do is to go up to Mugumpa today. So Mugumpa is like a monastery up in the mountain, and then come back, relax, and then hike back out tomorrow. So within a couple of hours, it was absolutely freezing in Nile, and we were all pretty glad that we didn't head up to the Gompa. So we just chilled out, had some food, played some cards, and called it a day.